Saturday night USL League One action concludes in the Pacific Northwest, live from Spokane, Washington. Forward Madison FC make the long trek out to challenge the table toppers in Velocity FC. Josh Lill with you this evening, set to bring you all the USL League One action. Taking a look at the league standings, taking a look at Spokane coming off of back-to-back draws, they are still atop the league table. Over to Forward Madison, well, they've struggled for wins, but their ability to obtain results, it's a reason they aren't far out. Got a tight race for second place between Charlotte, Naples, and Chattanooga. And in terms of seeds 5 through 10, well, it's up for grabs. You also have 3 expansion sides above the playoff line in Texoma, AV Alta, and FC Naples. And the defending champions, Union Omaha, are starting to look like their old selves. And Luis Gil, he has been the driving force behind the Spokane team. 11 goals just a year ago and recorded his 4th of the season last week versus Charlotte. Now, if those goal numbers aren't flashy, he does all the little things that are not on the stat sheet, like creating chances, drawing defenders, opening up the field, but mainly controlling that fast pace of play that Lee Veidman wants to see. Look for him to be a major impact in any minutes that he has tonight. Over to the visitors, Forward Madison. Do not be fooled by that record. At one point, they had 6 consecutive draws in the league, and Matt Glazer told us in the days leading up to the match, they've been playing better, creating chances and controlling the match. However, he noted it has been a tough period, but the team is staying positive. And he's right, they have gotten better. They won possession in their last 2 matches and obtained 20 total shots in that stretch. Well, it's a rematch of a League One semifinal from a year ago. Can Velocity FC get back to victorious form, or will Forward Madison collect their first win since March? Don't go anywhere. Starters and kickoff up next.
I got it.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Coors Light. Both teams taking the pitch. Spokane atop the league table, and Forward Madison looking to pick up their first win since the end of March. Starting lineups sponsored by Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. Carlos Marancio net, just 1 goal conceded in his last 4 matches. And Nil Vinyals making his first League One start for Spokane. He's 1 assist away from being tied for the all-time league assist leader with Arthur Rogers. Pierre Reedy is back, and Siobhan John Brown has returned from international duty with Granada. And Nico Brett starting once again for the 2nd consecutive league match. And Lee Veidman praised his scoring abilities in the USL Championship as he's 2nd all-time there with 82 goals. Over to Matt Glazer's lineup for this evening. Burns Shipman in net, making just his 5th start in the league this year. Mitch Osman, he's dealt with a bit of injury this year, but he's back for the first time since May 3rd. And expect Jacob Kroll and Damia Viader to help push the ball up the pitch. John Murphy, he's grown a ton since the start of 2024. Look for him to hold down that central column for the visitors. Up top, you have Luca Dorado and then Derek Gebhard, the longest tenured Madison player, and he's just one goal away from tying Christian Cheney as the all-time leading goal scorer in forward Madison history. Spokane in their home white kits with impact blue letters and numbers. Taking one last team huddle here. Forward Madison in their pink uniforms. Matt Glazer leading the side for the visitors. Lee Viedman for Spokane. Both these clubs meeting in one of the league semifinals last year. And with Spokane coming away victorious in penalty kicks. And they look to continue their winning streak against Forward Madison, and we are underway from One Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. Josh Lill here, happy to be with you this evening. It's been a busy stretch for Spokane. It's their third game in the last 7 days. A different look to the starting lineup. Just trying to rest players. Mistouch. Here's Brett off the post. And a near first minute stunner for Spokane. Nico Brett, like a shark in bloody water, just hounding the back line and nearly making the back line and Burton Shipman pay for their mistake. An aggressive press to start here for Spokane. Mistouch staying with the visitors. And for Forward Madison, they had a streak of 6 consecutive draws in league play, ended at home in a 1-0 loss to Union Omaha. Notably another Sports Center goal in USL League One, courtesy of Chelo Martinez, striking from the edge of the circle. That was the third time Madison were shut out this year in league play. But a positive from that match. Continuing to find ways to work into the final third, as they won't have an opportunity here, but led that category 76-39 in terms of entries last week. Verity Souza will be unavailable for Matt Glazer this week after picking up 2 yellow cards in that loss to Omaha. The sun shining down on One Spokane Stadium. As Garcia blocks that through ball attempt. Trickles toward Waldeck. Not quite bailed out by Pierre Reedy. And that's out for our first corner kick of the evening. Nico Brett with an excellent opportunity for Spokane. Inside 40 seconds. And about 3 minutes later, Forward Madison getting their best look up to this point in the match. Short trying to go with the give and go. Unsuccessful. Bartman around, Murphy. Flipped over to the far side. And sent back to Shipman. It's not unusual to see Burn Shipman be aggressive with the ball, taking plenty of space as Garcia trying to battle the sun for that ball. Now for a Spokane goal kick. Carlos Marancio in net for the 12th time in league play this year. 28 saves, 7 goals conceded, 5 shutouts to his name. That's good for a top League One. And on the other side, Burn Shipman. And clinical part of the excellent defense put on display by forward Madison last year as they worked their way into the Jägermeister Cup final and the league semifinals. Working with Wallace Lapsley, battling for time at that starting nod. He's banged up a bit to start the year, but given the go here tonight. Vinyals with his first touch. Miller to Garcia. Cameron Miller starting at center back for the first time since the Richmond Kickers match back in May, where he was sent off in the 13th minute. Spokane still coming away with the 1-0 victory. Marcelo Lage was a diligent fill-in, as we have an injured Spokane player on the pitch. Rodrigo Albuquerque, our head official this evening. There to check on the injured Spokane man. An excellent crowd. And our forward keys to the game for Spokane. It's about staying level-headed. And Lee Veidman emphatic in saying, well, they respect Madison, but they don't want to be the team that lets Madison get on a crazy run. For Matt Glazer's squad, you have to win in 1v1 situations today. That central column locked down by Spokane defensively. Your best bet is going to be challenging Derek Waldeck. Guys like Waldeck and Lucky Oprah. And our keys to the game brought to you by Ford. Chance here for Bartman. Steered aside. Pierre Reedy not one to shy away from contact. So as I mentioned earlier, 72 degrees in Spokane, wind blowing 7 miles an hour to the northeast. Shouldn't have too much of an effect on the match. Brett dancing around defenders. Nearly ran into Reedy. Pinballing it off of Murphy. Spokane in their last match, coming off of a 1-1 comeback draw against the Charlotte Independents. Owning 61% of the ball. Struggled in the first half. Ended up making the proper tweaks to break down Mike Jeffries' side. Luis Heel with the result clinching goal. But this part of the match, Spokane have been excellent defensively this year. Just 2 first-half goals conceded in league play throughout 2025. And tonight's injury report brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic. For Spokane, everyone's good to go. Devin Boyce, Jose Carrera Garcia, and Eddie Manjoma unavailable for Matt Glazer. And that injury report brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic. Vinyals picking a pocket. History on the line tonight. 4-0 Vinyals of Spokane and Derek Gebhard of forward Madison. Vinyals, of course, 1 assist away from tying Arthur Rogers for the all-time lead in league assists. For the latter, Derek Gebhard, he's 1 goal away from tying former Madison player Christian Chaney for the all-time goals lead in Ford Madison history. Spokane set to take their first corner kick of the evening. Corner kicks tonight presented by ICCU. Vinyal standing over without swing. Popped up near the byline. And Shipman collecting. Here's Gebhard, excellent in dropping in, shoved down from behind. Easy call for Rodrigo Albuquerque on Siobhan John Brown. And just colliding with Gebhard from behind. Even with the season that Madison has had so far, Matt Glazer adamant and sticking with his ways as they've led to proven success with the club. And for him, it's all about having confidence in that back line, putting the club in situations of numerical superiority. Most importantly, winning those 1v1 situations. For Velocity FC, they want to go quickly vertically. As you can see right there, Ricky Oprah and Derek Waldeck not afraid to get forward. Pierre Reedy right in the middle of a collision, and he's shown the first booking of the evening. Rodrigo Albuquerque calling for the training staff to check on the injured Madison man. And this booking coming inside the first quarter of an hour. Reedy colliding right with the chest. That won't go unnoticed. Pierre Reedy has been a force to be reckoned with at that winger spot. A player of the week in match week 9. And a 3-goal contribution match. First Spokane player to do that in their short history. But a true workhorse, in the words of Lee Veidman. Reedy not one to shy away from a challenge. Scan now, and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. Spokane under some pressure. Trying to break the press. And a miscue there. Lucky Oprah just a foot away from having a golden run down that right flank. The Otters switching the pitch. Cross inside, Murphy the intended target. And deflected out there by Spokane. Lucky Oprah with excellent defense, that ball fed through. Good off-ball movement there by John Murphy Jr. Trying to work through the thick of that defense. Second corner kick of the evening for Madison. Opting to go short. Quick 1-2 here. Headed away by Brett. Murphy Jr. Siobhan John Brown deflects. A shot of Nico Brown blocked. And positive play here from Madison. Not afraid to let it fly from outside the 18 in the wide areas. Just trying to confuse Spokane and create some hectic nature. It's a hard defense to disrupt. But if there's one team that can do it in the league, it is Ford Madison. Within swing. Viadair into the corner. Nice job of Siobhan John Brown to shield the ball away. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our charity of the month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. Ford Madison own the all-time series 2-1. But that one loss coming in last year's semifinal. As Miller possesses. That match ended up going to penalties. Spokane didn't even have a shot on target until the 120th minute. The final minute of actual time, as we were in extra time. Big save by former keeper Brooks Thompson. Combined with 5-for-5 conversion by the attackers resulted in a win as Reedy has that one poked away. And now for Spokane corner. Reedy so quick. Getting by Viadair. It's those little movements and hesitations by Reedy that make it so hard to defend him in those 1v1 situations. Waldeck to lefty. This corner will be put on hold. Rodrigo Albuquerque Checking in, John Murphy Jr. and Cameron Miller, trying to limit the extracurricular activity. Waldeck with outswing. Works its way back to Colin Fernandez. Waldeck dispossessed. Macias with a good opportunity. Just not able to finish it. Murphy Jr. refusing to give up on the play. Macias. 4 goals in 14 matches played last year. Mel up ahead. Trying to feed Macias. Unsuccessful, and it finds Carlos Morancio. Neither team with a shot on target, so no saves to be made. Possession currently exactly 50-50. However, Spokane very active in the final third. Already 3 touches inside that Madison box. Waldeck to Reedy. Floats it in. Shipman blinded by the sun. Ford Madison can breathe a sigh of relief for now. Just look here. Just so tough to see the ball. Lucky to come away unscathed on this ICCU corner kick. Spokane with unfinished business. One touch! And Siobhan John Brown is back. One Spokane Stadium erupting in pure joy. As Siobhan John Brown finishing on the corner kick. His 2nd of the season. And making an emphatic statement in his return from the Granada national team. Proven goal scorer in this league, and his presence was missed in just his 6th start this year. John Brown has yet another goal. And an injured Madison player. And Derek Gebhardt, slow to get up on the far side, looking for a foul call. Getting a nice embrace from Andre Lewis. Gebhardt has been the heartbeat of this team. Focal point. You've got to be careful. Don't want to lose Gebhardt. Communication there between Viader and Azim Bartman, excuse me. Right by Murphy Jr. Viader. Crawl to the far side. Brown shortening the field. Back to the near side. Finding Viader. Oprah has a streaking Siobhan John Brown. Looking for Nico Brett up ahead. An aggressive attempt. You have to love it if you're the Spokane fans. Velocity FC, 5 wins, no losses, and 1 draw when recording the opening goal. Here's Siobhan John Brown, the goal scorer. Mignon's back to Oprah. Fernandez trying to pick out that right pass. Able to find Waldeck. Shipman, a little in between on deciding to go for the ball. Eventually does. Here's Vinyals. So creative in the final third. With 3 games in 7 days for Spokane, Lee Viedman emphasizing recovery, film, basic preparation, trying to take the load off of the players' bodies. Trying not to overwork them, as the club has had excellent form up to this point. It has gone 3 matches winless in the league after putting together a stellar streak. Madison forced the turnover. Here's Gebhardt. Near side to Bartman. Inside and Miller, there to head it away. Collecting his crawl along that far touchline. Murphy Jr. We've seen him make strides toward the box, as he does here. That ball taking a touch. And now for a Madison corner. Bartman over to take. Suffered a season-ending injury last year, recording just 2 assists in the 2024 campaign. Tied 3rd all-time in club history with goals, that being 12. As Rodrigo Albuquerque has had to do this on a numerous amount of occasions. Mitch Osmond over there. Here's Bartman. Heavy inside, one-timer. Heavy collision. And we play on. And a lofty cross out beyond the byline. Taking a look at this previous collision. John Murphy Jr. getting the worst of that. Andre Lewis wanting the ball not that much. Murphy Jr. seems to be okay. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. Waldeck playing that off of Bartman. Madison winning over 50% of the duels here this evening. They're getting to the ball and struggling to find ways to challenge Carlos Morancia. 2 total shots, none on target. Foul against Spokane. Rodrigo Albuquerque very busy here this evening as we near the half-hour mark. Timmy Mel set to take the free kick. Playing it long. Right to the chest of Lucky Oprah. Great opportunity and wide. This one headed right for the chest of Oprah. And Nico Brown really making Spokane pay for that missed touch. Brown not on the score sheet yet this year, but on loan from Lexington. Looking to take advantage of his time with Madison. Bartman can't get there. Lewis hounded. Garcia out wide to Oprah. And since that goal, Madison, they've done a great job of shutting down the touch lines, forcing Spokane to play through the middle. It all starts with that man, Luca Dorado. Not making it an easy first pass for the likes of David Garcia, Andre Lewis, and Cameron Miller. I'm going to force John Murphy holding down the central part of that secondary line. Viator with a great play. It'll go off for a corner kick. But if he doesn't stick a leg out there, could be a very dangerous chance for Spokane. Waldeck with the right idea. Viator had other plans, but you have to do anything to prevent Pierre Reedy from getting a clean touch. This one off for an ICCU corner kick. Here's Waldeck. Collision inside. Played to the back. Popped up and knocked down. It'll go back the way of the visitors. And the offside flag goes up. Spokane cheating a little too much here. The fans wanting a call as there was contact between John Murphy Jr. and Cameron Miller. David Garcia ending up in the back of the net. Vignals and Brett to lead the press. Up ahead and long. Inaccurate. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue, open 7 days a week. Nice header, one-on-one opportunity, and a save made by Shipman. But the flag was up for offside. Nico Brett hitting behind the likes of Mitch Osman and Timmy Mount. Nonetheless, Burton Shipman able to make the stop. Wouldn't have counted. Sometimes it's good just to get those save reps. Macias turning and facing. The out air up ahead, headed away. Played off of Reedy. And wins that one for Spokane. Again, notably, Nico Brett getting the start tonight in place of Anwar Pelayas, as well as last match. And speaking with head coach Lee Veidman in the days leading up to the match, mentioned Brett. He had a rough 2024 with an injury. Missed the preseason this year. Dealt with another injury. But his positivity and hard work in training sessions, desire to get back, not just in the lineup, but the starting lineup. And in a hectic week, Lee Veidman and the coaching staff awarding him for his hard work. And Coach Veidman, he says we still have yet to see what he can bring to the pitch for Spokane. Already had an excellent chance inside the first minute. Damian Viader, the former Sacramento Republic man, part of that Union Omaha squad that won the championship in 2021. Lewis looking for Brett and defended well. Jacob Kral had other ideas. Taking away the scoring chance. Garcia to reset with Miller. And Vignal's taken out from underneath. What a ball here by Andre Lewis. Threading that through the defenders. But Nico Brett has been so excellent off the ball this evening. Trying to work through those channels. And put Jacob Kral and Mitch Osman into those interesting situations. Here we go, nice one in, and a stop by Shipman. A second chance by Siobhan John Brown is way gone. And another injured Madison man on the pitch. It's Nazim Bartman. A lot happening there inside the 18. Here's the first look. Siobhan John Brown through to Nico Brett. Shipman with the denial. And then it looks like on that second chance opportunity by Siobhan John Brown. Right behind Bartman, taking an awkward fall. Up now, and hopefully good to go. Great defensive sequence from forward Madison. Gebhard double teamed. And given right back to the hosts. Under duress, Melt. Sets with Shipman. Reedy chasing. Shipman nearly giving it away. Murphy Jr. trying to get this out of the danger zone. Gebhard, the right guy to do just that. Macias thought about going left. And Spokane doing a great job cutting Madison off horizontally. Matt Glazer's side getting to Spokane, Washington a couple days prior to the match. Having that much needed rest. Time to adapt to the time change. Crucial here this evening. They are holding their own against the table toppers. Reedy with room to run, nearing the byline. Crossing inside, bouncing ball deflected away by Shipman. What a wonky sequence. Reedy, it looked like it was going nowhere. Nico Brown deflecting that ball in the wrong direction. And Shipman bailing out forward Madison. Garcia. As we near the 40th minute mark. The lone goal for Spokane, courtesy of Siobhan John Brown, unassisted in the 22nd minute. Ford Madison looking for their first win since March 29th in all competitions. Velocity FC looking to remain atop the table yet again. Also in a stretch of their own. In their last 3 league matches. Falling to AV Alta. Or drawing with them, excuse me. Charlotte. And loss coming to Monterey Bay FC in the Jägermeister Cup. Great chance to pick up the pieces here tonight. So far on the right track as there is an injured Spokane man on the ground. And Rodrigo Albuquerque there to check. Looks like David Garcia. Garcia with Cameron Miller wearing number 12. Such a crucial part of that center back system this year, and just an awkward touch. A collision off the foot. You talk about the 5 shutouts for Carlos Morancio this year. Can't do those without that man, David Garcia. The former NOCO man. Winning trophies in back-to-back years. And with the NCFC in the league final in 2023. And victorious in the Jägermeister Cup just a season ago. Garcia taking a short rest, waiting his check-in, and walking off to an applause. As the fans do recognize his impact on every match, very appreciative. And holding down the fort for now, here comes Garcia. Deep send by Morancio, allowing Garcia to take his place. Popped into the sun. Andre Lewis taking the worst of that contact. Right there with John Murphy Jr. The backside of Murphy Jr. Colliding with the head of Lewis. A couple of sights here that coaching staff for Spokane, as well as the fans, not wanting to see. Lewis, an integral part of the club as well. Receiving some treatment from the training staff. And Lewis being walked off here for a short moment. And a year ago, in a 10-match span in the league, had 7 goal contributions. So someone who's recognized for his defensive prowess in that pivot role for Lee Wiedemann. Can let loose on the offensive end at any moment. Waldeck trying to play for Reedy, intercepted. The outer there. Shovel pass. Over to Gebhardt, inside to Murphy Jr. Osmond switching the pitch, and it's been announced 4 minutes of stoppage time. Four more minutes to go. And an opportunity for Madison here to equalize. And stoppage time brought to you by CDA Casino. Dangerous territory. For Spokane, you have to be extra careful. Working from your back third. Madison relentless in the first 45 minutes here in stoppage time. Can't imagine they'll let up in any sort of fashion. Possession 50-50. No shots on target for the visitors. Madison this year, 2 goals in the final 15 minutes of the first half. Nice play up to Reedy. But the offside flag goes up. Aggressiveness there from the Spokane winger. Had Brett to play in the middle of the pitch if onside. Unsuccessful, Madison with an attempt. Up ahead, Dorado. Wanting a foul call. And he won't get it. Marancio attempting to clear the area. Unable to get rid of Dorado. High punt into the sun. Made by Siobhan John Brown and out. It's away from the first half whistle being blown. Murphy Jr. Pressure put on by Spokane. Nice touch, near connection there. Pierre Reedy. And Gebhardt has space. Defenders closing in. Cutting inside. Putting the brakes on. The outer. Threatening, and a bouncing ball right to the chest of Carlos Marancio. Gebhardt with an excellent find. The out air not afraid of 3 defenders. Just looking for something here before the conclusion of the first half. Marancio sends, and there's the first half whistle. Spokane jumping out in front 1-0, courtesy of Siobhan John Brown. Madison have been aggressive, winning plenty of duels, working on the counter, but nothing to show for it. Your halftime score, sponsored by Coors Light. Chippy at times here at One Spokane Stadium. Velocity FC on top. And Ford Madison, well, they're trying to end their winless streak. Stay tuned and find out if they will. Plenty of highlights, stats, and news coming up during this halftime.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Back here at halftime, Spokane Velocity FC leading Ford Madison FC 1-0. Your halftime score, sponsored by Coors Light. Scan the QR code to vote for your favorite Lumberbeard co-branded can. The winning can will be sold in stadium and select stores next month. Lumberbeard, your preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. And taking a look at the league standings, Spokane Velocity atop the league table coming into tonight after a 1-1 draw on Wednesday with the Charlotte Independents. Naples, Chattanooga, all right under the Charlotte Independents, making that race for second so close. You have three expansion sides above that playoff line in Naples, AV Alta, and Texoma, defending champions Union Omaha, right under that playoff line. And Ford Madison, even with that 1-2-6 record, just one great game away from getting above that line. Now let's take a look at highlights from match week 14 in USL League One. Portland Hearts of Pine heading to the state of Tennessee, and it was Azad Liadi getting Portland on the board quickly inside the 5th minute of play. Portland Hearts of Pine coming out to an early lead, then Chattanooga getting right back to work. And it would be Declan Waters who would even up the score, making it a 1-1 match. Such a gritty environment to play in the city of Chattanooga. And that wasn't it for the Red Wolves. Pedro Hernandez would record the game-winning goal, securing the win for Chattanooga, putting them 4th in the league table. Over to the state of Virginia, Texoma FC taking on the Kickers, and Josh Kirkland with a statement in the 7th minute, giving the Kickers the lead here on this incredible finish. But Texoma, they've been on a roll. Teddy Baker would have a quick response to Kirkland's goal, evening up the match. Then Solomon Asante would secure the win, making it 3 in a row in league play for Texoma. Up to the state of New York, Westchester hosting Knoxville. A couple of red cards in this one, but it would be Prince Sadie giving the home side the lead early on in the second half. And Westchester feeling good, but then one Knox after the celebrations would come back here on a penalty. And who better to take it from the spot than Kempis Tequila? The match would finish even at 1 apiece. Westchester's been winless in league play since March 29th. And Charlotte Independence heading over to South Georgia Tormenta FC. The first league match for the Independents without Luis Alvarez. But it wouldn't be a problem. Christian Cheney would give Charlotte the early lead here on this penalty kick. But then we wouldn't see much scoring action until stoppage time in the second half. It'd be Fabrice Nga to put the match away. And that would move Charlotte into second position in the league table. And forward Madison, the latest to fall victim to a USL League One Sports Center goal. Chelo Martinez with the heave from across the field and connects on a gem. Be the first win in all competitions for Union Omaha since April 15th against San Antonio in the US Open Cup. Greenville Triumph SC hosting FC Naples, the high-flying newcomers on the road against one of the league semifinalists from just a year ago, and it's Carson Henderlong continuing his excellent rookie campaign with an opening goal. Then veteran Leo Castro would even things up for Greenville, and that would be all she wrote, the second 1-1 finish on the match week. And last but not least, a rematch from earlier this year, Spokane Velocity trying to go down to the AV Alta squad and snag another 3 points from Alta. They were unsuccessful. Brian Claben's squad shut out the table toppers, making it a scoreless draw. Scan the QR code to vote for your favorite Lumberbeard co-branded can. The winning can will be sold in stadium and at select stores next month. Lumberbeard, your preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. And we'll be back with more news and notes from around the league.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a load off take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was
Put the load right on me.
totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
Oh my goodness! Forward Madison finds the equalizer lane!
It's inside, bang! Out in front, Westchester.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way.
Focus!
Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Currently at halftime, Spokane Velocity FC leading Forward Madison FC 1-0 in Spokane, Washington. Your halftime score brought to you by Coors Light. Taking a look at news and notes from around the league. So the main point of conversation is Luis Alvarez. He was sold from the Charlotte Independents to the Tampa Bay Rowdies of the USL Championship. It ended up being a record-breaking transfer fee between the two leagues. Over to Bobby Murphy, the head coach of Portland Hearts of Pine. He's named your USL League One Coach of the Month for May as he led Hearts of Pine to an unbeaten month. And lastly, for Trinidad and Tobago, League One is well represented within the country, especially at the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Denzel Smith of Avialta, Natty James of Portland Hearts of Pine, and Noah Powder of Westchester were called up to the Trinidad and Tobago national team. We'll be back with halftime stats and highlights. Again, your halftime score brought to you by Coors Light.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too. For part 2 of their inaugural season, you could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
We're moments away from the final 45 minutes of play between Spokane and Forward Madison. Velocity FC with a 1-0 lead at halftime. Let's take a look at highlights and stats from the first 45 minutes of play. So Spokane here with an early opportunity and a missed touch. 34 seconds in, and Nico Brett nearly punishing the defense, looking for his first goal with Spokane. Then off of a corner kick, Siobhan John Brown connecting in his return to the team after being with the national team for Grenada for the CONCACAF competition. That would give them the lead at the 22nd minute. And nearly 10 minutes later, Ford Madison would have a great opportunity. A long ball off the chest of Lucky Oprah. And it's Nico Brown really making Carlos Marancio and Lucky Oprah pay. A couple minutes later, on the corner kick, Derek Waldeck finding the Spokane back line. And it's popped around. Velocity FC unable to connect. A little bit of collision there between John Murphy Jr. and Cameron Miller. And no call. Siobhan John Brown up to Nico Brett. A glorious save made by Bern Shipman. And a second opportunity by John Brown, skied over the crossbar. And it be Spokane again. The speedy Pierre Reedy nearly playing this one off of Nico Brown for a possible own goal. Bern Shipman bailing out Ford Madison. Shots 5-3 for Spokane. No shots on target for Madison. Just one booking. A couple of offsides for the hosts. Corners even at 4-4, and possession 50-50 here tonight. Both clubs with a fair chance at the ball and holding it well. Madison just looking to be a little more effective. Looking to take a 3-1 series lead between these two sides, and we are underway from Spokane, Washington for the second half between Velocity FC and Ford Madison FC. Josh Lill with you this evening, bringing you all the League One action. Christopher Garcia in for Nazim Bartman. Only substitution at half. Scores from around the league this evening. Naples and Chattanooga drawing it 2 apiece. Same with Texoma and South Georgia Tormenta FC. They also drew 2-2 as well. Final match of the evening, but not the final match of League One this weekend. 3 games on tomorrow. Portland Hearts of Pine hosting Union Omaha at 6 p.m. Eastern. And Greenville Triumph SC headed over to the Charlotte Independence for a 7 p.m. Eastern kickoff. And Westchester will host AV Alta at 7 p.m. Eastern. The footed shot right to the gloves of Burn Shipman. Played along that touchline. Gebhard maintains. Matt Glazer going for some help near the ball. Jacob Kroll to take. Finds Gebhard. Brown to Kroll. Murphy Jr. trying to be that connecting point. And reestablishing possession for the visitors. Opposite side come Madison. Garcia, cross inside and a finish! It's the first professional goal for Luca Dorado. Excellent play here by Garcia. And Dorado right in the center of the box, not missing a beat. Somehow getting by Cameron Miller. And Dorado beats Morancio for his first professional goal. Striking early here in the second half. Ford Madison are in business. Dorado on loan from Birmingham Legion FC in the USL Championship. With a moment in his career he'll never forget. He could break an all-time skid here. At least help break an all-time skid for Ford Madison. Christopher Garcia with his first assist as a member of Madison. However, for Spokane, 10 of 12 league matches, where they have not conceded a first half goal. Trying to string together a second half goal for themselves. Here's Lewis with a little bit of space. Murphy Jr. Osmond near side to Kroll. Right side of the formation, defensive formation for Spokane. Not making it easy. Excellent pass. A nice flick. Here's Garcia. Acting as the Energizer Bunny here this evening in Spokane. Dorado, the goal scorer. Eager to add another. Nell shoved down from behind. Oh, excuse me. That is Damia Viader. Viader tonight has been quick off the ball. Not afraid of those individual challenges against a defender. Two-man wall here for Spokane. Madison preparing for their dangerous send. Rodrigo Albuquerque making sure everything's in order. And here we go. Garcia inside. That one off the head of Nico Brett. It'll be a tough keep on the byline. Staying in. And cleared away by Spokane. Out for a Madison throw-in. Scan now, and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. And a Madison player down, much to the crowd's disapproval. Taking a look here. Garcia colliding with Pierre Reedy. Reedy with one yellow card here this evening. Rodrigo Albuquerque keeping everything in check. And the Madison players want a little bit more of an explanation. Deep throwing. Off of Murphy. And out for a Spokane goal kick. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. John Brown double team there. Resulting in this heave. Garcia plays it back. Murphy Jr. settled down by Gebhard. All having to act fast. Gives it over to Oprah. And Lewis with a miscue. Nice play by Gebhard. Gentle in his touch. Trusting the man with the assist. Christopher Garcia. Trying to get by Waldeck. And a foul against Garcia. Initiating a little too much contact with Waldeck. Trying to cut inside. Better positioning by the left back. That's what makes Waldeck such a good one-on-one defender. Able to halt a playmaker in Garcia. Misplay, here's Reedy. Could be a one-on-one. Pierre Reedy! Goal number 2 on the year. Makes it 2 for Spokane tonight. A player that never gives up, always trying to out-hustle the opponent, and beats a very good back line, getting by Mitch Osman. And Burn Shipman left helpless. That could be lethal. Reedy and Spokane are elated to have a lead. Just before the hour mark. Spokane Velocity FC breaking the deadlock. Both clubs were scoreless in that league semifinal back on November 9th. This one looking a little different. Right now, Spokane maintaining that same result. Aiden Macias, a little ginger. Timmy Mel and Mitch Osman. Any complaints with Rodrigo Albuquerque. Looking out for their midfielder. Macias getting checked on by the training staff. And it's Reedy trying to play the ball, but cutting that leg out in front of Macias. Macias up now after getting looked at by the training staff. Macias has been dynamic with John Murphy Jr. Getting those pivot rolls. Defense just as crucial as the ability to start the attack, and vice versa. Macias a big part of that. And we hope he's okay. And here's Murphy Jr. in the process of prying that away. Called for the foul. Elite Minds. Unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. Oprah. Forcing to go inside. Vignals called for the foul. It's Macias down again. And a tug from behind by Vignals. Quick decision there from Rodrigo Albuquerque. Well, we're just over the hour mark. Spokane leading it 2-1. Siobhan John Brown scoring a goal unassisted in the 22nd minute. Right out of the gate in the second half. Luca Dorado with his first professional goal in the 48th minute, assisted by Christopher Garcia. His first with Madison overall this year. But just 9 minutes later, on a fast break, Pierre Reedy beating Burn Shipman one-on-one. Spokane Velocity gone 3 matches, winless in all competitions. Lost in the Jägermeister Cup. Back-to-back draws in the league. As the offside flag goes up. And for Madison, they're looking for their first win in all competitions since a 2-1 road victory on March 29th against the Richmond Kickers. A couple of streaks to be broken tonight. Only one will. Madison are close. A talented team with plenty of youth. That's not even taking into account the injury troubles they've had this year. Jackson Dietrich, Devin Boyce, Mitch Osmond, and Burn Shipman at some points. You throw Jose Carrera Garcia. It was day-to-day after the Omaha match. Hasn't been easy for Ford Madison, but continuing to fight. And a collision on the ground, right into Pierre Reedy. John Murphy Jr. writhing in pain. Doing his best to continue and work that out again. Colliding with Pierre Reedy. Moving pretty good with the ball. Good to see him okay. And leading this charge. Garcia inside, blocked by Waldeck and out for a Madison corner kick. Derek Waldeck, tough to beat here tonight. Within swing to the backside and headed. Vignals. His first league start for Spokane. Longtime Richmond man. 19 goals. 18 assists in his time with the Kickers. Vignals being rewarded with the start here tonight, as Lee Wiedemann has talked about before. Coming into a situation, Luis Gil is your guy at that attacking center mid spot. Vignals continuing to work day in and day out in training like the Nico Brett, Marcelo Lage. Continuing to stay positive, helping players develop. And he hasn't missed a beat here tonight. Again, an assist for him would tie him all time for career assists in League One. The likes of Arthur Rogers, the former Northern Colorado man. There's a loose ball there. Rancy had to be careful. And he's limping. Something to keep an eye on. Reedy dangerous in space. Nice connecting pass to Siobhan John Brown. Reedy pushed down. Christopher Garcia there, 11 on 11. And a substitution here. It's fair to say things are a little chippy here tonight. Two aggressive teams. As Christopher Garcia coming from behind, shoving Pierre Reedy down. Yellow card shown to Christopher Garcia. You can see scratching his head and refusing to give the ball in a respectful manner to Rodrigo Albuquerque. And an easy booking there for the head official. Garrett McLaughlin in for Nico Brown. First substitution for Madison. Anwar Pelaez in after the yellow card for Chris Garcia. Pelaez in that four-way tie atop the Golden Boot race. 6 goals in league play this year. Back in it. Shipman with the snag. Back with the visitors. Anwar Pelaez in for Nico Brett. And Masango Akale in for Pierre Reedy. He right now has the game-winning goal. Nice play by Akale to force the counter. Vignal's trying to fight through contact. And with a palms up reaction, goes the way of Madison. And Vignal's ending up tripping the defender. That's just smart execution. This late in the game, when you're trying to extend that lead and force the counter. Just getting between the man and the ball. Never so important. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. Kroll has to be careful. And Pelaez chasing, but executes there with Shipman. Other scores again from around the league. Texoma and Tormenta with a 2-2 draw. And the exact same result between Naples and Chattanooga, 2-2 as well. Due to inclement weather, even though the match was started, 1 Knox and Richmond, they'll have that match played at a later date. And then earlier in the match week, Spokane with a 1-1 draw against Charlotte in an exciting matchup of the top 2 teams in USL 1. And then Thursday night, Union Omaha coming away with a 1-0 victory at home over the Greenville Triumph. Pelaez in space, attempting to beat Mel to that ball. And hearing the whistle for that ill-fated contact. Rodrigo Albuquerque busy tonight. And again, smart defending from Madison. Knowing the aggressiveness Spokane plays with. Using body positioning to their advantage. With pace broken up. Likewise for the host, Akale. Oh, a nifty pass. A little too wide of Pelaya's. And another booking toward the visitors. Akale trying to thread the needle. And running into the blunt force of a defender. Aid Macias showing the booking. Despite the 18 fouls here this evening, just 3 yellow cards. Pardon me, that yellow shown to Timmy Mail. Sango Akale with a couple of starts in recent days. Lee Viedman so confident in his game on the attack. But Masongo has worked on his defensive game, putting him in position for these crucial moments. Dangerous play. And Shipman there. But back to my previous point, not just with Masongo Akale, but Lee Viedman putting much emphasis on the ability to play on both sides of the ball for every one of his players. Emphasizing defense just a little more. He says it's not an option. And Masongo Akale has applied and developed himself, growing each day. Such a bright talent for Spokane. Not just as a sub, but as a starter as well. That one wide. Oh, for a goal kick. Here's Kroll. Excellent pass in the middle. Might have taken a deflection off that left post. Takes that awkward angle. And Madison, a matter of inches away from tying this match. Siobhan John Brown tugged. And a near scuffle on the near side between John Murphy Jr. and Siobhan John Brown. And a nice hug there between Murphy Jr. and John Brown. Quarter after the hour mark. Siobhan John Brown and Pierre Reedy, the goal scorers for Spokane. Luca Dorado, lone scorer for Madison. Matt Glazer's squad, they've been good defensively all year. The 2 goals all night tied. Behind for the club. Conceded this year. Up ahead. Excellent run. Mauricio having to be a little risky. Hooper keeps. Any other time Madison has allowed multiple goals in a league match was the opener against FC Naples. On the road, they fell to the expansion side, 2-0. Coming in with only 9 goals conceded. It's on the same level as One Knox. Good for second lowest in the league, just behind Spokane at 7, now 8. They've stuck together defensively. Just trying to put the pieces together on the other side of the ball. Here advantage played. Saw the arm of the official go up momentarily. Going forward, but then put it down. Substitutions for Madison. Galindres in. For Luca Dorado, scoring his first professional goal here tonight. Abe Macias out, and Jackson Dietrich, another former Northern Colorado man, on the pitch for Matt Glazer. Galindres, another decorated player, tied 4th all time in USL 1 in career goals, 29. Plenty of gifted scorers have been a part of Matt Glazer's clubs and yearly squads. And a big moment here for the veteran. If he or the likes of Derek Gebhard can connect. Another foul on the far side. Colin Fernandez furious. Free kick chance here in the attacking half. A little far out. But lofted in. Karen McLaughlin in as well. Another decorated scorer in USL League One. Headed. A shot over that top left corner. Mitch Osmond was also in good position to challenge Carlos Mauricio. Mel there as well. That one sent. Just wide. A great chance though for the visitors. Again, they're doing the right things. Having good spacing. Solid builds. And patient play. Through ball pass. Could this be the closer for Spokane? Wide open goal. Shipman back. And Spokane with Shipman off his line, far off his line. Can't put the nail in the coffin. Masongo Akale. Momentum carrying him. Had Pelaez in the 6. Vinyals trailing. And that's momentum working at its finest for forward Madison. But this match still within reach. Luis Heel and Ish Jome set to check in for Spokane. Making way for them, Nil Vinyals. And Siobhan John Brown, who in his return to Spokane, recording the opening goal. Jome and Heel set to take the pitch for Lee Wiedemann. Ish Jome, 2 goals and an assist on the year on Luis Heel. 6 goals in all competitions. Heel filling that attacking center midfield spot. And Ish Jome has bounced around to different positions. Naturally a winger. To Galindres. Cross in, looking for McLaughlin. Switching to Kroll. Skying that one over the net. Scan the QR code to vote for your favorite Lumberbeard Co-branded can. The winning can will be sold in stadium and at select stores next month. Lumberbeard, your preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. Mauricio taking his time. Bly is taking a tough fall. Substitution for Madison, Michael Chalaka. Making way for him, Mitch Osmond. Osmond in just his 5th overall start of the year. Coming out here in the 83rd minute. Chalaka in. Part of that stellar defense last year that recorded 11 shutouts. An impressive passer as well. Nearing a rate of 90%. Sharing the ball. Defense the focus here for Chalaka and company. There's Waldeck. Dangerous territory. Here's Waldeck. Spinning ball. Inaccurate. And Madison can reset. Book your stay today at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. Fernandez over to Akale. As Pelias to the left. Luis Heel. Shipman on the ground. Stopping that one with his hands. Pelias had room to run on that left side. Akale looking to go with the everyday captain. Heel with the shove from behind. Up next for both clubs, for Spokane, it'll be a road trip out east to the Richmond Kickers a week from today. As for Madison, they'll head home for a midweek match against Westchester SC on the 18th. Excellent chance for Forward Madison to pick up much needed points against a struggling Westchester side. Whereas for Spokane, had that gritty 1-0 victory down a man against Richmond. They'll have to do it in enemy territory this time, as Colin Fernandez is down. Sean Murphy Jr. and Andre Lewis over to check on the midfielder. You can hear the thunderous sounds of the Spokane faithful here at One Spokane Stadium. Fort Madison know this as well. But with an exceptional fan base, it can really do you wonders. Both sides, support sections, and fans overall showing up every week for such a long season. And Colin Fernandez will exit to the thunderous sounds of the Spokane supporters. Jack Denton will come in to relieve Fernandez. Denton's been starting as of late. 6 starts this year, 9th appearance in the league. There's 1 goal to his name. Fernandez with a valiant effort tonight. And Denton on to close it out. Throwing on the far side for Madison. With a lunge and a header. Scooped out of the air by Carlos Morancio. What a header there from Madison. Nice touch. Here's Jome. Jomez Pelaez. Heel on the far side and cleared away and out for a corner kick. Spokane never settled. Always looking to extend that lead. As this corner kick is brought to you by ICCU. Luis Heel on this corner kick. Header far side, ricochets off the post. And Shipman prevented that ricochet from clearing that line. What a header there. What a well-placed ball by Luis Heel off the set piece. Another solid header. Just goes the wrong direction. Jome, back post. And top the net. And a couple of Spokane players down inside the box. It looks like David Garcia. And clanking heads there with Cameron Miller. Center back to center back. Shaken up here this evening. A couple of near opportunities here for Spokane, and Garcia will get checked on. Rodrigo Albuquerque, our head official, getting that confirmation for stoppage time. And it's been announced 6 minutes of stoppage time, but that could be extended based on the length of time Garcia has tended to. David Garcia getting treatment to the head after a collision with Cameron Miller. He'll head out momentarily. Great to see him okay. Head injuries never taken lightly. And Burton Shipman here in stoppage time. Completes his first pass, and Madison have not put a result together this year in league play when trailing at half. Inside, and popped up. Dangerous ball. And Luis Heel going to the ground aggressively. Taken out from underneath. What a huge win this would be for Spokane if they were to hold on. They would guarantee themselves heading into match week 16 top the league table. They would go up on Charlotte by 4 points. Gebhardt taken down. Albuquerque showing a yellow card to the bench. And it is confirmed to the bench. Spokane given a warning. Tough territory here for John Murphy Jr. See what he makes of it. Garcia trying to keep it alive. Here's Dietrich. Far side, over to Garcia. And stepping out of play. The Spokane fans, well, they're just minutes away from a massive 3 points at home to separate themselves from the Charlotte Independents. They're taking as much space as needed. The visitors unable to force the turnover. The pounding of the drums getting louder as every second ticks away. That one off the head. Garcia outrunning. And David Garcia, the pivotal stop. Garrett McLaughlin streaking to that far side, breaking up that play, but not out of it yet. Mel turning and facing. Chilaka. Chris Garcia. Canaveta Kale. Waldeck stepping. Cameron Miller making the sack, or David Garcia, excuse me, making a pivotal sliding challenge, but it does set up for a Madison corner kick going short. Garcia back near the 6, headed and centered. Waldeck trying to beat Galindres to the ball. Out by Mel. Shipman inching closer to the attacking half with every second that passes. Murphy Jr. defended there by Denton. Here's Gebhardt and taken down at the arc. And a booking shown to David Garcia as Gebhardt is down in dangerous territory. And Garcia colliding with the legs of Gebhardt. And this is setting up for an excellent finish in Spokane, Washington. Garrett McLaughlin and Jacob Krull standing over the ball. Garcia officially booked. McLaughlin, second all-time in goal contributions. Career goal contributions in League One. And tied second all-time in League One career goals with 31. This could be huge. Krull McLaughlin. McLaughlin to take. And way over the head of Morancia. Gets his foot a little too much under that ball. And it's starting to feel that much sweeter for Spokane. And you have to remember, stoppage time started when David Garcia was being tended to for a head injury. That took a couple of minutes. It'll be interesting to see how far stoppage time goes, but that's it. Spokane Velocity come away with the 2-1 victory at home and break their draw streak in league play. And taking a look at our play of the match for Spokane Velocity, it was the opening goal. And this play of the match sponsored by Modelo. Siobhan John Brown and his return to the team off of a corner kick in the 22nd minute, making his mark on this match. And that is your play of the match, sponsored by Modelo. Again, your final from One Spokane Stadium, 2-1. Velocity FC defeat Madison. Highlights and stats up next.
De vez en cuando, todos queremos soltarnos. Solo necesitamos un poco de ayuda. Conozca Un Poco de Ayuda. El Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition 2024. Pasa por cualquier terreno para que puedas darlo todo. Obtén una gran oferta en una Bronco Sport hoy mismo. Arrienda una Bronco Sport Wild Edition por $339 al mes por 36 meses o cómpralo con 3.9 por 36 y obtén $2,000 de bono Wild.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at One Spokane Stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Your final from Spokane, Washington, Velocity FC defeating Ford Madison FC 2-1. Your final score brought to you by Coors Light. Let's take a look at full-time highlights and stats. An eventful evening out in the Pacific Northwest. And it started with Siobhan John Brown off of this corner kick, giving Spokane the 1-0 lead in the 22nd minute. Siobhan John Brown, well, picking up on his fantastic year he had with Central Valley in 2024. And then straight out of the gates, Ford Madison making a statement. Aben Macias in transition, finding Christopher Garcia, and he would record his first assist in his career with Madison, finding Luca Dorado for his first professional goal, and that would even the match in the early stages of the second half. And Spokane wouldn't be done. Less than 10 minutes later, David Garcia up ahead, deflecting it off of Mitch Osmond and Pierre Reedy. A one-on-one opportunity, and he does not miss. Putting that one by Burn Shipman. And that would result in your final score, giving Spokane the 2-1 victory. Reedy recording his second goal of the year. Full-time stats also brought to you by Coors Light. 2-1 your final. 10-9 shots for Spokane, and owning shots on target, 5 total, just 1, which was the goal for the visitors. Possession ended up going the way of Ford Madison, which was not as effective as Spokane in that fast set. 11 total corners, 3 offsides, and 5 yellow cards. Up next for Spokane, they'll head on the road to face Richmond. For Madison, they'll go home to host Westchester SC. Your final, brought to you by Coors Light. Spokane Velocity FC defeating Forward Madison FC at home 2-1, breaking their draw skid in league play. I've been Josh Lill, and a huge thank you to our entire production crew for making this match possible. Again, your final, Spokane 2, Forward Madison 1. Have a great night, and happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.